How can we truly say we love ourselves if we can't even take the time out to appreciate ourselves on a daily basis? I feel as if we must live in appreciation with yourself. Appreciate yourself through everything you've gone through, everything you are constantly going through. Waking up in the morning, appreciating the fact that you can wake up, appreciating your looks, appreciating that it's time to develop, appreciating the process of getting better, appreciating everything dealing with yourself. And I feel as if it's a lost art that's not talked about enough at all. A lot of the times we tend to run away from appreciating ourselves, and we tend to fall in love with downing ourselves and saying how much better we can be instead of appreciating the fact that we can get better in a sense. And I feel as if we tend to confuse self-love and appreciation with self-distraction and keeping ourselves content. I feel as if we find self-love with distracting ourselves. And I mean that in doom scrolling on TikTok. We find that self-care, and it's the complete opposite in my opinion. We find treating yourself to a tasty snack is self-love. And in a sense, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's so much deeper and so much more ways to truly love and appreciate yourself. It has nothing to do with the outside physical. It's really all about being and appreciating you, not not treating yourself to technology or anything physical. In a sense, it's all mind warfare, spiritual warfare. And you can tie in the physical things like eating a tasty snack, as I said, working out, even doom scrolling. You can tie that in, but that's not the root of self-appreciation and self-love. Nowhere near the root. And I tend to think that the lack of self-appreciation really stems from us getting older and feeling responsibilities and worrying so much about everything that can go wrong, and we tend to lose that self desire to love ourselves because we're so content with everything else. We're so worried about everything else that's outside of us. And truth be told, life is hard. Life is in no means just simply playing out. I mean, let me take that back. Life is as hard as you make it. I gotta work on that. Life is as hard as you make it. I feel as if you looking at life, if you say life is hard, life is gonna be hard. If you say life is easy, life is gonna be easy. But not to just downplay the difficulty of getting by. I know times is hard, and as a country, stuff is hard. But in a sense, I feel as if that mindset of it's hard ties right into not appreciating yourself and realizing that you have what it takes to do whatever you want. Whatever you want. In a sense of getting by, in a sense of whatever you want. Seriously. And that self down talk of saying something is hard brings life and reality to it. In a sense, that's not appreciating that you have what it takes to get by, in a sense. So I feel as if that ties right back into the self appreciation. And that correlates with to make your own shoulder the shoulder that you lean on first. And I'm not trying to sound harsh. I'm not trying to sound, you can't depend on nobody. You can't ask anybody questions or for favors. But make sure that at the end of the day, you're the one that you care for the most. Make sure that you're there for yourself the most before anything, before anyone. And I truly mean that. And I feel as if we don't realize that you at the end of the day you have yourself. Not to say that anybody, not to say that everybody is just relying on other people or relying on things outside of themselves. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying I feel like it's a lost art to appreciate. Let me take that back. Let me take that back because I'm losing momentum. I'm simply saying that if we don't lean on our own shoulder, how can we expect things to get better? I'm simply saying when we are so dependent on things outside of yourself, how do we truly expect to resolve the main problem that we're trying to get over we can't even take the time out to lean on your own shoulder and depend on your own self and be there overall for yourself. How can we expect anything to get better if we don't do that? And not to knock on having friends or anything, or you know, knocking relationships or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to you. And I truly believe that, and I truly know that. So I feel as if you are the one that decides how you feel. So when I see the light in situations you control, and I know there's a lot of situations out there that we cannot control by any means. Stuff happens daily. Life is very unpredictable. But the situations we put ourselves in that we can control, we play a major part in those situations. Why not see the light and better ourselves out of those situations? And there's so many examples I could use. So many examples I can use. Someone bringing negativity to your life. See the light and having the ability to ignore that. Appreciate the fact that you can ignore that. You can laugh that off. You can simply walk away. Appreciate that. In a situation where you keep trying, you keep failing at something, you're trying to reach this goal and you tend to keep failing and falling down. Appreciate the fact that you can fail. Appreciate the fact that you are giving yourself chances to succeed. Appreciate that. I feel as if we don't take the time out to simply pat ourselves on the back in a way, and not getting comfortable. And I'm not saying get comfortable. I'm not saying with drown yourself with this applause or anything. I'm simply saying motivate yourself. I'm simply saying be there for yourself. So many things that tie into that. But see the light in anything negative going in your life that you feel as if negative. Make that a positive. I feel as if it's not impossible to make a negative a positive. I feel like it's a very, very possible. And I feel as if we downplay our abilities to do that. We don't exercise that enough within our minds and within our soul. We can make anything we want positive. We can turn anything, any way, anything the way we want it to be. So why not do that? And a huge part of self-appreciation in our third dimensional bodies and in our life is simply looking in the mirror and simply facing yourself. It's that simple, facing yourself. And I mean that in the sense of not looking in the mirror and picking out all the negative things that you don't like about yourself. Fall in love with those negative things and realize it's always a way we can better ourselves. We are a customizable character. And in a sense, we can truly better ourselves in any shape, any way, any form. And it's only a limit to that when you put a limit to it yourself. For example, any facial features that you have on you that you don't like, you can either find the appreciation for it and find the beauty within yourself. Actually, that's the only way to do it. There's no other way to appreciate any facial features in yourself. Find and fall in love with the beauty of yourself. We are all beautiful in our own unique ways. So why would you look at a feature on yourself and essentially not love it? You know? And I feel as if a lot of that comes from other people's opinions on how you look or how you dress yourself, how you style yourself. And in a sense, why would that affect you? Anything outside of yourself? And if it's mass bullying, I understand occasions like that where it can get hard on a person when it comes to how they look. But in a sense, this ties right back into appreciating yourself. Appreciate the fact that you look the way you do. No one else looks like you. And I'm not sure how to describe it the way I want to describe it. I probably have to look into that on a topic that I want to learn. But in a sense, just simply appreciate yourself. Love everything about yourself. It's not hard at all unless you make it hard. So I say all that to conclude with don't make loving yourself so much as a chore. Don't make loving yourself this thing that you dread to do, that you feel like you have to force yourself to do. Love yourself throughout the day. Don't make it a chore. Don't make it something that you don't want to do. Have fun with loving yourself. Appreciate yourself daily. And I cap all that off to simply say thank you. Thank you for watching my video. If you watched it all the way through, I really appreciate you. I love you. It would mean the world to me if you took the time out to subscribe, like the video, share it. I appreciate everybody. Love all, and love yourself the most, and learn to appreciate yourself.